Hello and welcome to an instructional video about how to set up MiSTer FPGA. This video presumes that you already have the MiSTer hardware of your choice, be it the Taki Udon, one of his packages, a MiSTer multi-system, something you've put together yourself via MiSTer add-ons or some other vendor, and the Thoracic DE10 Nano. However you've done it, you already have procured the hardware, you have an SD card, and for whatever reason, even if you bought a package where it came with some setup stuff, you just want to set this up from scratch. Either you're upgrading to a new card, or something went wrong with it. You just want to build this from with a blank SD card. That's where we're going to start. So I've just gone and done a search. I've done this before, but it's nice to review things, and I would advise you also search some things to make sure that the information on this video is not out of date when you look at it. Although it's been pretty consistent as far as how you would set it up for, I don't know, 5-6 years now. All right, so to set up your MiSTer FPGA system from scratch, begin by preparing a micro SD card with the MiSTer Fusion image, which can be downloaded from his GitHub page and written using a tool like Boolean Etcher. I'm not actually going to do that, but we're going to be doing something similar. Not going to be doing quite exactly that. That's just the sort of setup. So I'm going to go over to here. I'm going to open this. Let's see. Now I'll just click there. And there's some instructions. Here's the instructions for the setup. Here's the requirements. You need, well, this is Windows 10, or see the script for the SD card. Use the script to create the SD card under Mac OS and Linux. I am just going to do the Windows version right now. If you, the tricky bit is just creating the image. You can look for other stuff online if people are really interested in it. I mean, I could add the instructions, but I don't have a Mac OS and or Linux. I don't have a recent Mac OS system to record, nor do I have anything Linux that I could use that's currently conveniently set up. I could build it and I could do it, but unless there's like huge demand for people wanting to do that, um, not going to bother. Just as long as you can create the SD card, you can find other tools to do it. Um, yeah, you need all this stuff. Okay, well, I'm not going to worry about that because I already said what my prerequisites were. You already have the system. You knew how to build it. You have a system that works, except for it doesn't have any software to control it. So we're going to prepare the SD card. That's the big thing we're going to show here, and then I'm going to show once it's set up how you get everything working from there, and and go on that way. Now, I should say, if you already do have an SD card, but you're copying over to a new one, that sort of thing, or you're doing a new setup and you want to do it from scratch, just in case, so you don't have any old config set up or cruft or something like that that's broken. Um, so here's what you would do with that. You would back up, because you're going to want to back up all your, well, you'd still have the separate card, but you'd want to back up, all your ROMs and things like that of that nature that you have to a separate location, then copy them back onto the card once you're done doing the basic setup. But we're going to set up the initial SD card from scratch. You probably do want to keep your configs, because maybe there was something you custom configured, you don't remember it, and then you have to go back and see what it was or something like that. Sometimes the configuration stuff does change, as certain things have changed. They've added in the MiSTer main core as to how, like, inputs and outputs and various things like that are handled. So you'll just have to follow up and see what's the latest as far as how that goes, based on your initial configs and setups. If you have an existing one that you want to transfer over, you're kind of on your own as far as this video goes for looking that stuff up, as to how to do that. But if you have a backup of your old SD card, then you can at least refer to that, and copy things over one by one as needed for various configs. But I'm going to show you how to do a basic setup from scratch, as if you didn't have anything else. Now, this says a RAR file. They've actually changed to using 7-zip, so it won't be a RAR file, but I'll show you how that works. And then, so download the latest SD card installer from here. I'm going to right-click this, open in a new tab so that I have these instructions handy. And this is it right here. And if you scroll down, you get the most recent release. And see, they started out, they were RAR, but RAR files, now they're 7-zip files, .7z. This is 6 months ago, so I downloaded for whatever reason, I downloaded one that was this new. I don't remember doing it that recently, but I did have this on my already before I even started doing. This is the new copy, which I have just re-downloaded. I will show you that in a moment. So you can click here, and it'll bring you to the file. Or, as another option, there's this release. You can go here, so you don't have to scroll down. You can go here, and this also takes you to the same spot, pretty much. Then you view the file, so it's like 2 clicks from there, or you scroll down and do the 1 click. But this is the same spot. This is the most recent one from 6 months ago. And you can just download here, or you can click this and download. So I'll just show that real quick. It's going to take a moment here. There it is, and downloading to the desktop. If I hit save, well, it's gonna save this with the number one because I already did that. But we'll just do this so you can see it doesn't take that long to download, at least with the connection I have and with the connection probably most people who would be watching this video would have. And there it's downloaded. See, I just did that a few minutes ago. I'm just gonna delete this because this is duplicate. No, I'm not gonna rename it. We're gonna delete it. See, off the cuff stuff. So this is it. So now we've got this downloaded. This is from the official MiSTer development. This is the head of MiSTer FPGA project as of this time. Has been for the whole project, I believe, or at least most of it. Several years as far as I know, anyway. Don't profess to know everything. Just I know that's the guy as of the time of this recording. All right, so we are going to open this to we're going to extract it to here, to the desktop, right? Because that's what we downloaded. And just like we don't need this tab anymore, I'm going to go back here, extract the file. Here's the MiSTer SD card utility. We're going to run this. It's going to ask me if it wants to do that. I don't know how that looks because the way it works, you may not see that. But it's going to ask me how it looks. It's going to ask me how to, that's the Windows security deal. You want this to do stuff on your thing. Anyway, boot files, disk 1. This all matches. This is a 128 gig card. This is my old one that I had used, and I migrated to a bigger one, 256K, or 256 gig. Sorry, K, really. All right, it says do this. Make sure it says this. Newer versions, actually, this is updated right here. Newer versions will say boot and files, which is what mine does, and I, of course, add that behind there. All right, so we're just gonna do full install, just like it says. Make sure you have the right disk. You don't want to be like erasing your hard drive, although it's pretty good. It only looks at the removable media. I've only seen one. There was only one option there for me. But if you have different removable media, make sure you're doing the right one. That's on you. So we're gonna do it, and it's gonna do a bunch of whining. You go away. Okay. We don't care. It does say down here it's gonna do a bunch of whining stuff too. Now I inserted the SD card before starting the installer. As it says here, if you inserted the SD card after starting the installer, you hit the refresh button. Again, I'm going to assume that you already know, all right, that you already know how to do, how to hook up an SD card to your computer. Full install for disk 1 finished successfully. Okay, that's done. That should be it. That should be all I have to do with that. Confirm this successful installation. Drive will open. Yeah, don't format the drive, all that fun stuff. I did all that. You saw some of that stuff. If you only see the menu, okay, no, that's not it. Where is the? Here we go. This is the file, and this shows everything in here. Now it does say to go and download. What it says is, go download the most recent MiSTer versions. You see, as well as 201. It's already in 2020. It's 2025 as of this recording. So this is old data here. It doesn't mean it's completely out of date. Things don't necessarily move that fast. But anyway, um, we are not going to do this. What we're going to do now is do update all to keep your MiSTer F. We won't run it just yet, but to keep your MiSTer FPGA system update, recommended method is to use the update all script. So we're going to get that in just a moment. But what we need to do now is this is updated. You can grab the thing, but we're not going to do that since we're going to use update all. We don't care. Yeah, this is getting a all right. So that's old. That is old. All right. So we're just going to get this because we need to put this on the card as well, and then I will come back with the MiSTer hooked up and show you how it sets up. All right. So this is giving some instructions, but I'm just going to go here. This is exactly very similar to how I just did the setup with the other thing. So we're going to go here. And we're going to go get this update all, which is from this guy. There's some, instructions. You can read all that if you want, but all we need is this. Update all SH. And we can just download this. Download. So we can download it to the desktop. Okay. And we are going to put it on, not here. Come over here. Scripts. Update all. Boom. Done. And that's all you need to do to that. Now we're going to eject this. Again, I'm kind of presuming you already know how to operate Windows and that. So we're just going to eject this card. Currently in use. Okay, well, let's close this then. All right. Let me go to eject. Safe to remove hardware. There we go. That's what you want. All right, it's safe to eject. I'm going to take this out. Physically remove the card from the computer, and there we go. And put it in my MiSTer, and then I'll come back with the MiSTer setup. So we'll have a recording of that. It won't be any time for you because I'll pause the recording. Okay. And we're back where we have the SD card put into the MiSTer system. It is, again, it's a pristine, just set up, just from the configuration put in to there, so there's no cores installed. That's why it says no files here. Connect your keyboard, joystick, or controller of whatever form that you like. Again, I'm presuming that you know what you want for that and have got that set up. This is not advice for that. This is just how to configure it from scratch. So got no files. I did hit F1 a few times to get this background. This is not the default one that comes up first. There's a staticky snow one, which isn't going to code very well for streaming and YouTube videos and the like, and so that's why I've chosen this one. It's a little more static. Well, although the old one's static, but moving. So this is static in a different sense. That's kind of funny. All right, so we're gonna go here. My controller, I'm gonna hit the way I have it set up. I hit the B button. Um, it should automatically detect this. I didn't do anything to add my controller in here for the configuration. It's all fine and knows. So I'm hitting B button like on an NES style controller. So that would be, you got the four buttons. You got the top, the left, the right, and the down. This would be the button on the bottom, the down button. That should be the way it's default configured, not positive on that. But you can redefine your buttons here. See, and I've got this all just automatically set up. It knew what was going on. This shows you the version that it's running. So this is from earlier this year. As you can see, the time and date is September 21st. This is 2005. Sorry, 2025, and the versions of the MiSTer are 2025 March 5th, and the OS is 2025 April 2nd. So we do want to get that updated as well. So here we go with the scripts. And do you want to continue? Yes. They'll only ask you, I think, once the first time you do this. Again, this is why I'm running through with from scratch, so that way I could see this. Like, I couldn't tell you that if I hadn't done that, because I forgot all about that screen because I just looked at it for a second before, you know. All right, so we're gonna run update all. This is gonna take quite a while, so I will probably pause the video and let's see, new file has been created with the default DBs, added, blah, 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 waiting 10 seconds. So it's just downloaded the DBs. Now it's waiting 5 seconds. It's just doing the setup. It's going to take a very long time because it's going to download all stuff. So let's do this. Let's enter the settings screen and just see what we have first, so I can show you through the settings, because you may want to change some of these. This is up to you. Main distribution should always be on. That's your main cores and that sort of thing. You're gonna get the arcade cores on this, and that's gonna take a long time to download. It's gonna be like 20-30 minutes. I will be pausing the video so that you don't have to sit through that. But note that you will have to do that, on your own time when you're doing this. Go grab a cup of coffee, get a bite to eat, do whatever while it's doing that. So this is the update all. This is the current version as of this time because I just downloaded it earlier in the video. There may be a newer version for you. This has changed a little bit over the years, but hopefully these instructions are still good when they reach you. So the JT cores, we'll have those on. Going up, these are the default. I don't think I ever turned these on. I don't have these on usually. I usually don't turn any of these things on. Let's see, extra content. Press escape. No, that's not what I want. I did it wrong. Oops. That's okay though. It exited out right to the beginning. This is a showing of what you do when you hit the wrong button. Do you want to continue? Yes, and don't ask again. There, I forgot that. So update all. And I'm hitting the A button on mine, which is the one on the right. Press up to enter the settings. We are going to enter the settings screen again. I'm going to hit the right button this time, hopefully. Just shows you I'm not a super duper expert. I'm not going to pull this off flawlessly. I'm just, just another guy. All right, so this is what we're going to look at. BIOS database. All right, we are going to turn this on. Yes. Arcade ROMs. Oh, this one's off. All right, yes, if you want arcade ROMs. Wait a minute, do you really want to exclude? No. No, wait. Okay, hang on. La, 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 la. Yes, all right. So we're going to do that. That's what we want. So for some reason I was trying to turn off. All right, so we want those on. I don't care about the wallpapers. They're cool and all. So if you want them, great. I'm not going to bother. You can just turn that on. That's how you do it. I don't know what these are. Boot ROMs. Oh, those are some fun things. If you want those, this is some other wallpaper. I have my own wallpaper that I like to use, which maybe I'll show you. I don't know. May not be in this video, so don't worry about it. Borders for the GPA core. I don't want any of those. If you do, that's great. I'm not saying you do whatever you want. That's the fun of these things. Firmware, analog pocket. This is not an analog pocket system, so we don't care about that. Don't know what that is. I'm just going to save and run update all. This is going to take a while, so the video is going to pause at a certain point and skip ahead. Do you really want to update all without saving your changes? No, I want to save changes. Yes, so we're redoing the downloader ANI file. Now, once you've done this and you run update all, you don't need to resave it. You just keep your config unless you want to change it. So we're going to exit. We're going to run update all. This is going to take a while, but we'll see. And it'll download all the cores. It'll download all the BIOSes, and it'll download all the arcade stuff. And that's just what it does. I would not want to do any of that on my own with the arcade stuff. Anyway, probably not the BIOSes either. I could do that. It's not too hard, but so we'll just see it go through these things. And I think I'm going to pause the video at this point. Okay, and we're done. That was not too bad. It's let's see, it was about 17 minutes, give or take a minute on there. Let's see if I can scroll up and show you everything here that happened. Let's see, I can scroll up a bit just to show you, give you an idea of where it goes. So it was going through. Oh, that's where it's putting the games. So yeah, these are the overlays. That's what that is. But it downloads everything the first time, so there's a lot of stuff to download. It's about 17 minutes, so not too bad. Goes through all the various things, some documentation. It's not downloading the individual ROMs other than the arcade stuff, the way I set it up, the way I showed you. And that's up to you, and you want to curate your stuff, go find them. I'm not going to give you further instructions on that. Here's all the consoles. These are all the cores that it downloads. It downloads all the official cores. Now there's some other well, I say official. They're all the ones that are in the main, in the repository for the MiSTer FPGA project. Okay, you can download other ones. It's fine. They work, but those are the ones that are in there. They're not all of them are complete 100% working perfect either that are in there. So don't be afraid to download other cores that aren't officially in there yet, depending on what they are. But that's a discussion for another time. That's not related to what we're doing here. Let me just scroll. Yeah, I don't know if you saw that glitch there, but it does glitch out occasionally on this screen. I don't know why. It just does that though. It's not me. I've seen it happen on other people's systems as well. So it's just not my system. It's not just my system. Yeah. So here's the arcade cores that it was downloading, and then the computer cores. So this will give you an idea when it gets to this part, it's close to the end, and then the consoles. So it's probably got a couple minutes left when you get to that. This is nice because you can review this after it downloads. That's really, really nice to be able to do that, to see what it downloaded. In case you're running update all later and you grab some new stuff and you want to say, oh, what's new, and you want to check that out, that's what the scrolling back is good for. All right, so this is all done. Any other key button to exit? So we're going to exit that. It's going to reboot. It probably updated this system, so it's going to have to do a complete reboot. So we'll just wait here while it does that. And there you have it. And now it has cores in here instead of no cores found. And that's really all you need to do to set it up. I don't have any, yeah, skip my reconnect my controller. I don't have any other, so we have all the consoles here. I haven't installed any ROMs or anything, so there won't be anything here. It's gonna be, some of these will be installed already, obviously. There's utilities, all this stuff comes down. So I'll just show you an arcade for a game, just to show that it did set these up. What shall we do? What should we do? Let's do Altered Beast, because that's a classic. And there it is loading up. And we got Altered Beast. The sound is not coming in, so let's see if I can fix that. There we go. Now there's sound. Maybe it just didn't have sound yet. So, we have to configure this thing. So coin is what? Start? No, it's select. So there's a coin. There's a coin. Here's start.
Rise from your grave.
Rise from your grave. a little bit of this just to. See, it works. We gotta get a power up though.
Power up.
Power up. Now the difference between this and the Sega Genesis or Mega Drive, if you had the Mega Drive, is that the Genesis system has graphics aren't quite as good, but it has parallax, so it is slightly better in that regard. So we'll get through this just to show for demonstration, and that's all you need to get going. And then you just drop your things in the folders. And I'll show you that. I'll get through this level 1, and then I'll show you that at the end, just for a little. I don't know. Forgot what I was gonna say there. You can adjust that, you know, in the config. I showed that earlier in the video. We're just gonna get through level 1, or not, if we die. So we're not gonna get through level 1, because we are not good at this. I'm not great. But this one is a classic. Game over. All right. We'll just do that so we get a blank screen here. Yeah, that's fun. Blank screen, right? So that's that. That's how you set this up. What was I also going to show? There was something else I was just talking about that I was going to show. And now I can't remember. Oh, yes, the folders. So, whoops. So when you go into here, you're going to load, right? And you're going to go into the directories. And these are the directories that you can put. Now, there are a few ways that you can put stuff on here. It's not convenient for me to show the directories right now on how to install things. You can take the SD card out and put it in your computer, or you can log into your MiSTer via I think it's FTP that it uses. I don't think it's SF. Oh, it might be SFTP. Whatever. You can get into it via SFTP or FTP. It has some default settings. Those are instructions for, there are instructions for that, to how to copy those files over. Or you can, pull the card out, put it in your computer, but that can be kind of a pain. So maybe I'll do that when I do my other videos for the individual systems. I'll show you where to put the stuff. I'll do that as part of those scripts. So that'll be for another time. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this video. And if you do, maybe come and watch another video. Take care for now. Okay, little addendum. I forgot to mention this. As you can see, I loaded up the system settings again, just so that you can see what it looks like. And if we go here, let's see, this is where it would come up. And then if you go back to the system settings, this shows the MiSTer version 250828, which is 2025, August 28th. So it has been updated. So I did not have to download that. the update all took care of it. I just wanted to show that just to make sure that um, you knew that it was actually properly updating, and it will continue to do that when you run update all. Every time you run it, um, that's how you do it. So just wanted to point that out. I forgot to mention that. So that's it. Anyway, take care. Have a good day.